we interrupt this program to bring you a special news report. This is a very important public service announcement. The terrible water crisis that in the last few months had caused the closure of the main water sources across Asia, Africa and America has now reached Europe. The European Parliament has already passed a series of emergency measures to prevent deaths caused by the consumption of contaminated water. As early as last December, a threat to public health from contaminated drinking water has been registered on the French-German border. More than 2,500 people, among them adults and children, fell ill after drinking water that should have been safe. After closing down the allegedly polluted aqueducts, the situation has slowly returned to normal. On that occasion, the World Health Organization ruled out terrorist attacks and opened a crisis center to investigate other possible causes, but the origin of the contamination has not yet been ascertained. 7 days ago, 40% of East China aqueducts and the vast majority of US West Coast natural aquifers were declared contaminated. Water supply for affected populations has become increasingly problematic as contamination escalated quickly. Fewer and fewer groundwater sources are still considered pure, while authorities fail to issue convincing explanations with regards to the causes and the fast propagation of the contamination. After issuing a worldwide alert on January the 10th, the UN is desperately trying to halt the rapid global expansion of water pollution, although the measures taken so far have only succeeded in slowing the spread of the problem without putting an end to it. The scarce information coming from the crisis-stricken areas describe a situation out of control. Cities near collapse are gripped by fear as violence breaks out in the streets and riots and unrest are fueled by the water shortage and the growing economic crunch. The global crisis is having a calamitous impact on the economy. The stock market has hit its all-time low. Energy resource extraction and production are paralyzed too. Until a few weeks ago, aside from the negative economic effects related to the global integration of finance and trade, the European situation was relatively under control, inasmuch as the water crisis had not yet seriously and directly affected the life of citizens. Unfortunately, this morning, through the Pandemic and Avian Influenza Coordinator, the WHO has confirmed the discovery of new contaminated aquifers in extensive areas of Europe. As a first precautionary step, almost all European governments have declared 80% of European water basins and aquifers at risk, forcing the closure and prohibiting the use of all water from the water supply network. From today onwards, it is forbidden to use water for any daily use, such as drinking, preparing food, personal cleaning, domestic cleaning, water plants, and so forth. Clean and uncontaminated water is in the process of being examined, rationed, bottled up, and home delivered under the management of the European Commission for Health and Food Safety. The EU ensures that stocks will be sufficient for fair and equal distribution until the end of emergencies. Citizens are requested to remain calm and to cooperate in order to facilitate delivery and allotment operations. An appeal from President of the European Council, Donald Tusk, is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 11, instructing European populations not to take any water outside the official channels. Meanwhile, web activism is in full swing. On forums, blogs and social networks, internet users demand clear and accurate information on what is happening. Some videos went viral overnight, registering more than 1 million views. This seems the birth of a new and hard-boiled virtual community. Now we proceed with a communication of the highest importance, as requested by the Presidency of the Council of the European Union. European citizens, as I speak, the contamination of water is currently under the scrutiny of the European Commission for Health and Food Safety. There is no real alarm, and soon the situation will return to normal. In the meantime, please follow these safety instructions to the letter. Do not drink or use water that hasn't been delivered directly at your door and branded by the European Commission for Health and Food Safety. Do not waste water under any conditions. Do not organize public demonstrations or take part in riots. Go to work as usual. Contact the police only in case of real necessity. We will deliver drinking water directly to your home in sanitized plastic jerry cans. And that was the message from President Donald Tusk. We do not currently have any additional information. We will keep you updated on developments. We thank you for your attention.